For this video, I'm going to be going over transitions between scene sets and actual movement within the area. It looks like for one, I'm playing with Resident Evil, the original, and here's one of the big points right here where it actually transitions the camera from one point to the other. The camera in this game is fixed, so it only shows certain points that you can, but it's usually points of importance. Like this point right here where it actually pans to this point right here, but the reason why it does that is because there's actually an item here you can collect. No, we're not going to take that just yet. But it's using trigger volumes. As the player enters these volumes, it changes the camera into certain points. Let's see, so it'll keep this camera in here until the player hits another volume. There's another, like I said, another important point. This will be later used later on in the game as one of the puzzles, but it focuses on that so that the player knows that that's something of importance. But we go a little further up, and then it's going to transfer once again to the actual door to the main room. We will focus on that later. Right now, let's go this way because there's another transition this way. Another big transition that they use a lot in this is between scenes, and that's their doorway mechanic. This is a doorway mechanic that I actually tried to mirror in my in our game, and that's it brings the door up, the door swings open as a mechanic, giving the player a visual indication that they're actually moving to a new zone. Once again, it's trigger volume based. Like if I go over here, I still can't access the door. If I go over to this side, once again, still can't access the door. It's one of those things you got to be right in front of it to initiate the trigger volume in order to set off the mechanics or set off the script that allows for the function of the door. So it sets off the mechanics, sets off the cutscene. Another thing that they're using, let's see, in this right here, the trigger that sets off the camera offset or the door offset has actually another purpose. And that other purpose is, we can see it right here, where you can see where the volume's triggered, the camera switches back and forth between the section right here. Now, the other function is when you go to certain areas, like right here, you can actually go into this area, and when you do that, it'll actually trigger another cutscene, an event. So you can use these triggers to actually trigger out events and cutscenes depending on what you want to do with them. So it's not just transition a camera, but it also can initiate different things based on what you're looking for in general. And I'm going to go ahead and kill this guy. We don't. Never was a fan of the knife, but another item I wanted to bring up, with certain doors, there's actually criteria that's involved, and it's usually Boolean values that are going to be addressed whenever you pick up items. This one in particular actually looks for a key lock, that the emblem of armor, so you need an item to unlock this door, and there's your clue. So you can set up these things for trigger volumes to give the player clues on how to function these doors.